All right. Okay, so I think you can see my screen now. So welcome to Bincom Dev Center. Bincom Dev Center is a multi-location technology talent development and solutions platform. We have our locations virtually near you. We have our locations virtually near you. We also have some of our locations in Yaba, Lagos State. We have our location in Ibadan, Oyo State. We also have a location in Kano State, Kaduna, Ogun State, Delta State, United Kingdom, and we also have plans to expand to as many locations as possible. What are some of the services Bincom Dev Center offers? We have Bincom Academy, which utilizes the Montessori approach in training participants in basic skills needed for the modern technology ecosystem. Bincom Tech Internship is also designed to enable people at intermediate skill levels gain mastery and expertise over a period of time. We have our Bincom Tech Apprenticeship, which is an industrial attachment at various skill levels to gain experience and on-the-job training. So if you're looking to get hands-on experience on a particular skill set or tech skill set, Bincom Tech Apprenticeship is for you. We also have our Bincom community events and projects, which is what we're currently offering. This is one of the packages under our Bincom community event, which is geared at giving back to the community and building the tech ecosystem. We focus on informing and exposing the youth to current technology trends and how to prepare for the future in technology. And then we have our Light Space, which provides helpful workspace intended to encourage collaboration and drive innovation in the startup ecosystem. We have spaces that are created and designed for various events like webinars, conferences, and get-togethers. So our locations have different light spaces. So if you want to use any of our light spaces, then Bcom Light Space can offer you any of these. And then we also have our Bincom Global Tech Program, which is a 1 to 2 years program focused on three key pillars, which is learning skills, gain experience, gain exposure. And this program fee is 1.2 million naira. We also have other payment options available. So if you're looking to grow your skills or learn a particular tech skills, Bincom Global Tech Program is for you. If you already have this skill set and you need experience, Bincom Global Tech Program is for you. And if you also need exposure, this is the perfect program for you. I'm sure you really don't want to miss out on this. And then we have our Emigrate program, which helps you become globally attractive, help you get a tech profile or a tech-enabled business, and it's your tech-enabled pathway to relocation and settlement in countries like UK, USA, Canada, and France. And then we have our Bincom mentoring platform, which is a structured mentoring solution to help mentors add value to mentees for the purpose of building globally attractive techies. And then we have our Labs by Bincom, which is a 3 to 6 month pre-incubator program that brings together participants to build a digital technology product which would be used by real life users. You have an idea and you want to get this idea from just a normal idea or just this in my head to actually a product that can be launched that people can use. Our Labs by Bincom offers the best package. So if you're looking for an pre-incubator program that can help you get a stand in the startup world, then you should be part of our cohorts. You can check our website and you know get more details about on this. And then we have our Bincom Tech Career Coaching, which helps individuals land their next role faster by offering a combination of coaching, relevant on the job experience, career references, introduction to tech recruiters, hand holding application and interview process, and much more. So these are some of the services Bincom offers. If you have interest in any of these services, do well to reach out to us, and we are always there to answer you. Okay, so moving forward, we'll be bringing up our We'll be bringing up our very first speaker for today's session, and his name is Martins Fidelis. So, just a brief intro on his personality. He is an edtech enthusiast who finds fulfillment in solving real problems limiting students' learning outcomes. It helps him sleep well at night and intends to do this for a living. He leads the team at Catalog, a curriculum curated learning content distribution engine that gives students frictionless access to the best content relevant to their studies. I'll share his LinkedIn details here in the chat. So if you look forward to connect with him, do well to reach out to him, do well to connect with him. And we also have our Bincom Tech Network that helps you connect with other techies in the industry. So if you want to continue our conversations further from here, you should also join our Bincom Tech Network. Thank you so much. So I'll be bringing up our first speaker named Mr. Martins Fidelis. So the floor is yours. You can. I think he's probably maybe having a network issue or something because he has just left. But okay, we'll just move forward. We have our second speaker here, and her name is Aminat, Ajose Aminat. So Aminat is a highly driven and experienced STEM educator with a passion for creating engaging learning experiences and promoting student development. She has a strong background in science education, proficiency in teaching computing skills, and extensive experience managing STEM programs. She's also committed to making a positive impact in the field of education. So at this point, I want us to humbly clap if you can, or maybe use the emoji here as we call on our speaker to the floor. Okay, so I think there might be some slight issues among the speakers, but we'll not dull right? So not also while we wait for them to get settled, we'll just talk around the topic. And the topic for today's session is enhancing virtual learning. So among our audience here, if you have an idea of what's your perspective when it comes to virtual learning? What do you think about it? So you can simply just raise your hand and I'll let you speak, or you can just unmute and speak in order. So if you have an what do you know about virtual learning? What are your thoughts towards virtual learning? Hello, can everyone hear me? Okay, Peter, you can speak. Thank you so much.
My idea about virtual learning is learning
Oh, you're a little bit breaking. I don't know if I'm the only person, but I can't
okay.
really.
How about now? Can you hear
Yes,
me?
yes, it's a lot
Right.
better.
So, my understanding of virtual learning is learning at your own. So long you have this one connection and a device that's connected to the internet. So one can actually learn lots of things. And so
Oh, you're really breaking. I'm not sure I got every bit of what you said, but it's fine. Okay, Kiko, let's hear from you. What's your thought towards virtual learning? So Kiko goes first, and then we'll move on to Michael.
All right, good afternoon, everyone.
Good
Virtual learning has,
afternoon.
virtual learning has really gained importance due to flexibility and accessibility, and it has the ability of reaching global audience. Like today meeting we're having now is virtual, and we all know that we learn one or two things today. So it enables remote education, lifelong learning, multiple experiences that makes education more inclusive and adaptive with various things and schedules that will make everyone to have the access easily. Virtual learning is very, very important in today's era. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much for that. All right, Michael, let's hear from you too. What are your thoughts towards virtual learning?
Right. Good evening. Good afternoon, everyone. Virtual learning is just an environment where like students um take courses online, either via video or audio. So that's just like my thoughts on virtual learning.
That's really cool. So let's do like a deep dive into virtual learning. So virtual learning, we can also call it online learning or e-learning. It refers to like a process of acquiring knowledge, skills, or education through digital platforms on the internet. It involves the use of various technologies and online tools to facilitate educational experiences that can be accessed remotely. Virtual learning can take place in formal education settings such as schools, universities, as well as informal settings like professional development, self-paced learning, or at home. So the key things that are very, very crucial when it comes to virtual learning includes digital content, online platforms, interaction, flexibility, assessment, feedbacks, adaptive learning, etc. Now, our topic is enhancing virtual learning. What's this enhancing virtual learning? So it involves improving the quality and effectiveness and also the engagement of online education experience. So whether you're an educator, you're a student or an institution, there are several stage strategies and tools you can use to make virtual learning even more engaging and productive. And some of these tools include interactive content creation. It is mandatory that you create interactive content, elements such as videos, animations to explain concepts that are quite complex and also cause that engagement in your class. It is also good that you create interactive quizzes, polls, and assessments to keep your students engaged. And then we have other engagement tools. It's best to incorporate virtual whiteboards or things that your student can collaborate on that also allows that real-time interaction. Live sessions, we also have adaptive learning platforms, gamifications. People should be able to get points, badges, reward students that actually participate in all your virtual classes and stuff. And then we also have virtual reality and augmented reality. I know we're not fully there yet, but we're heading there. So the use of VR and AR to create immersive learning experience can also enhance our virtual learning. And also peer collaboration, clear communications are also very, very necessary when it comes to virtual learning. So moving forward, we're bringing up our speaker now. So we get to hear his own perspective of virtual learning and how we can enhance virtual learning in today's world. So I'll be calling up Martins Fidelis as our first speaker. Martins is an EdTech enthusiast who finds fulfillment in solving real problems limiting students' learning outcome. It helps him sleep well at night, and he also intends to do this for a living. He currently leads a team at Quarterlog, which is a curriculum-curated learning content distribution engine that gives students frictionless access to the best content relevant to their studies. So at this juncture, we'll be calling on our first speaker, Martins Fidelis. The floor is yours. Thank you so much for joining.
Mm, Good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Yeah, nice to be here. Were you talking to me?
Yes. I was calling you up to speak. We
Oh,
called earlier,
apologies.
yeah.
Apologies. For some reason, I've been getting service disruption. Nice to meet you all. My name is Martin Fidelis, and I lead the team at Catalog. What we do is very simple. We help students to be able to access the best content they need for their academic programs. Yeah, we are enhancing virtual learning. When I was told to join these, invited to join these, it sounds very fascinating for me because this is actually what we do as a business, how we can enhance virtual learning. So nice to meet you all. I'll wait to get your questions, then maybe I'll share my thoughts.
Okay, thank you so much for that. Do you have any slide or something you might want to share, or you just can just talk about the theme, which is enhancing virtual learning, and our questions will come at the end of the session. So,
Awesome. Thank you very much. Really, I didn't prepare slide. I guess I will just flow. Okay,
okay, that's
yeah.
great.
Back in the 90s, I watched a movie where um detectives in the US use computer to solve a challenge, a crime. I got so fascinated by this device and I wanted to study more. So I went to the university to study computer science. Graduated in 2004, then I worked with Oracle Business Limited as a database developer. But graduating from school was very tough for me because I came from a very humble home. We had to struggle, to feed, struggle to be in the school, struggle to pay, where to stay and all of that. But one of the major challenge I had was accessing learning content while in school. I have to borrow handouts, borrow textbooks from my friends, and I made up my mind someday I'm going to solve this challenge. That informed why we formed Catalog. Now, to answer your question, let's go back to 2019, when COVID struck. In the West, we saw that a lot of schools moved online. But in Africa, we found that we just had lockdowns and that was it. So the best some private schools could do was to share, information via WhatsApp. Part of the reason why we had a very huge digital divide and different from what they had in the US, in the developed economy, was two reasons. One, knowledge gap of the facilitators, of the teachers, of the professors in our schools. Two, lack of facilities, the platforms to even use to teach online or virtually, right? So, but that scenario is changing as more and more schools are beginning to, adopt virtual learning. Truth is that today learning has changed. A student can actually learn under a tree with the right learning content and, achieve great learning outcomes, even more than a student that is learning under a very, beautiful school with great facilities. So virtual learning is the future of learning. For us to enhance that, for us to enhance virtual learning, we have to do two things. One, we have to be intentional about helping our students to adopt, virtual learning. That's one. Two, the government have to, make policies that will encourage, a lot of schools to adopt virtual learning. Nigeria has over 20 million out of school children. I mean, the highest in the world. And majority of these out of school children reasons ranges from religion, inability to pay the fees, teacher shortages, and so many reasons. But if we were adopting virtual learning, you can see that with just provision of devices and internet, students can actually learn from the comfort of their home, from wherever they are. Today, if you know how to solve the net, you can actually learn. You can actually have any knowledge that you need just going to YouTube, Coursera, or any of these virtual learning platforms. In 2018, UNILAG had 25,000 students that have passed both JAM, WAEC, and post-UTME. But the facilities in UNILAG could only accommodate 8,000 students. Now you've got over 15,000 or 16,000 thereabout students that have passed the post-UTME and have passed WAEC, and by right ought to be given admission, but couldn't be given admission because they have limited facility and are limited by capacity, how many students they can accommodate. If UNILAG then was embracing virtual learning, of course, some students could, learn at home using their PCs once they have internet connection, and they can have the same experience that students who are in the classroom would have. So virtual learning is the future. Virtual learning is very important. And you can see the last certificate that Nigerian University Commission issued to those who want to start university. You can see that ULesson has a university now, and that university is virtual. And there are several universities that are springing forth, that are going to be virtual. Truth is, with the growing Nigerian population, our facilities cannot keep up, and we have to embrace virtual learning We have to do everything we can to enhance it and help students to have the best experience. Thank you very much.
Oh, that was really a good one. So, because I want this to be as engaging as possible, we'll just throw in some questions for now for Mr. Martins, and then we'll move on to our second speaker for today. So, my first question is, in Nigeria, we have or we haven't grown into that stable network connectivity okay, we haven't grown into that level where we won't face severe technical challenges such as poor internet connectivity and the rest. So how can we cope with the trend of virtual learning in as a Nigerian?
Okay, thank you very much. Truth is, when we say virtual, it doesn't really mean it must be a live class, right?
Okay.
You could actually have devices that are preloaded with learning content, and people could actually learn. What we are doing at Catalog, we found that we have this, challenge with internet, and people are very conscious about their data. The user behavior is you can actually use your data to watch movies, but when it comes to learning, you'll be very conscious about your data. So what do? Allow create platforms that can synchronize and students can use it offline. And then when they have internet access, it can synchronize, update the content, and they are able to continue learning. That is the kind of thought pattern we had back in 2017 when somebody was talking about building a live classroom, and we said our bandwidth is low, internet is expensive, a lot of people will not be able to afford it, and all of that and all of that. But whether you like it or not, virtual learning has come to stay, and every country is embracing it. So we are even doing even much more than some African countries who are embracing it now, knowing that that is the future. Parents will always tell you that internet, that is because of the mindset. People are still, people are afraid of what they don't know, right? So, and that is keeping them backward. We have every facility that we need to embrace virtual learning. If the federal government want to adopt virtual learning in the northern schools where a lot of people, female women and girls are limited because of religion, that they cannot be allowed to go to the classroom. You can adopt virtual learning there. People can actually, women and girls can actually learn live, from the comfort of their home. And that is what Nigerian Open University is pursuing, that people can actually learn, from the confines of their home and graduate and get the same degree and get the same experience, especially for courses that, that are not practical intensive, like engineering, like medicine, and all of that. People can actually learn, we can actually adopt it. We currently have facilities to make that work. You might also know that MTN is now having 5G, Airtel is having 5G, and with the 5G network, I know that there are still areas in the north and some other part of the country where internet is still a challenge. But if we want to consciously adopt virtual learning, in those areas, you can actually use devices that are preloaded with content that people can actually study, and then that gets updated when they come to areas where internet is strong.
Oh, that's really a good one. That's really a good one. So I have one more question before we move on to our next speaker. And my question is, how does this virtual learning compare to the traditional in-person learning in terms of student engagement and outcomes? Because doesn't this breed a sense of isolation? When you're in a physical classroom with people, you can engage with your colleagues, you can engage with your classmates, and the rest of the activities that goes on. How does this virtual learning actually inculcate all of these without bringing a sense of isolation between team members or course mates or students?
Okay, so some schools have tried to manage that by having it a bridge, right? wherewith they can organize in-person meetup once in a while. But to answer your question, I've had friends who studied programming without actually meeting the instructors until they graduate. And you could see what Coursera is doing. You could see what Udemy is doing, and several of them. And these guys are coming out best, top notch. Once you have the right learning content, you can actually learn. So it depends on the goal of the learner, right? Do you really want to learn, or you are just there to show the kind of beautiful clothes you have and all of that and all of that? It's very good to network as a student, as a learner. That interaction, creates a bond, help you. You can have friends that can help you in the areas where you're weak. That is very true. But we know that virtual is also giving you the same results that the in-person learning is giving to you. And that's why some universities in the US now that are offering, virtual learning courses, they would invite you, before you graduate, one or twice to come over to campus, meet with other colleagues, and then get the interaction and experience that others have once in a while. And when you are graduating, you will actually come, to the campus and get, your convocation and all of that and all of that. So we can adopt that and have it where we can have a bridge where once in a while, to create that interaction, we bring these people to meet once in a while.
Okay, that's really good. I think that has really answered my question. So I think the whole 2020 COVID trend really interrupted a lot of processes, and I think those who actually utilized or really leveraged on virtual learning didn't even act like they were so affected with the whole lockdown. But in Nigeria, everyone had to just lock up, stay at home and stuff, and it really hindered learning curve here in Nigeria. So I think virtual learning is like the best thing because you don't necessarily have to move around and stuff. From the comfort of your home you can, but determination here is the key. So you just have to set your goals and know that, okay, I want to learn this, I want to learn that. I don't have to be in a class to learn this, I don't have to be in a physical location to do this and do that. So I think the best thing is leveraging on virtual learning at this time. So we'll be moving on. I don't know if Matters has something to chip in again before I call on our second speaker.
Okay, yeah. I will just reiterate why we should adopt this. I studied in the University of Calabar, my first degree. I studied computer science, like I said earlier on. We were 1,200 and we were standing to take classes. Actually, we weren't learning anything, right? We just follow, give the lecturer what they give to you and all of that and all of that. And when we passed, we graduated, we found that we knew nothing. We now had to start. But if actually Nigeria has embraced virtual learning, even with the shortage of facilitators and instructors in key subject areas in Nigerian universities, we can actually have professors from anywhere in the world, delivering very superb classes, very superb, lectures that will help our students to be top notch, to be the best. And like I said earlier on, because of the limitation that we have in terms of capacity and even teacher shortages. If you walk into any public primary or public secondary school, you will find that one teacher is handling over 200 students and above. And there is the ideal classroom should be 15, maximum of 25. And a teacher is handling over 200. So you find that students are really not learning because there's no that connection, one-to-one connection. Now, we have that challenge with the facility. We have that challenge with teacher shortages. But if we embrace virtual learning, it will really help our students to achieve learning outcome, especially those who are limited, who don't have the wherewithal to come to the physical classes. So anything we can do to push virtual learning, we will be very glad to support. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. We really appreciate. So, moving forward, if you have more questions, anything you also want to chip in, you can always drop them in the chat. At the end of the second speaker, we will be answering these questions and engaging with them. So, I'll be bringing up our second speaker, and her name is Ajose Aminat. She is a highly driven and experienced STEM educator with a passion for creating engaging learning experiences and promoting student development. She has a strong background in science education and proficiency in teaching computing skills and extensive experience managing STEM programs. She's also committed in making a positive impact in the field of education. So we'll bring up Ajose Aminat to the stage and let's hear what she has to say on this topic, enhancing virtual learning.
Um, Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. And
Thank you.
well done, Mr. Martins. Those were very valid points. So my name is Aminat Ajose. I'm the programs coordinator at the Science Crew. So what we do is we facilitate STEM programs across different primary and secondary schools within the country, yes. So being a STEM service provider, in the year 2020 as well, during the COVID period, we realized that we needed to do something that would be different from the normal visiting classrooms to teach science experiment, teach computer coding and robotics lessons, because everybody we're all stuck at home. So we started to think of how can we enhance our learning for students that are at home, and this will not affect them when they come back to the classroom. So when we look at it, there are different ways that technology can be used to support education. And some of them are things like using learning management systems. So a lot of schools these days, they adopt online platforms to create and manage the educational content, assignments. So a lot, we incorporated things like this LMS, like Google Classroom. So we make use of Google Classroom to facilitate a lot of classes. With Google Classroom, your student can be in Saudi Arabia, it could be in the US, and all of you are all collaborating, they are learning at the same time, or they have access to like the lessons at their own leisure time. So if a student is unable to like join your class, they can go back to it. So these are ways that we started to incorporate EdTech. The other, another way that we started was by incorporating virtual classrooms. So virtual classrooms are where teachers and the student can interact in real time. So just like we are discussing now, this is a live class. So you have your students, they log in at your time, and you all are like, you are all conversing at real time. The student can ask you questions by using video conferencing tools like Zoom, Meet, Teams. So all of this ensure that education continues. There is not a barrier in education. And then, when you come across a lot of children these days and a lot of parents these days, they want their children to like learn tech skills, and distance may be a barrier. You could have somebody far away in the north, say Kaduna, Kano, and they're like, oh, all of you are in Lagos. Why is it that everybody are in Lagos? With virtual learning and using EdTech tools, it makes it very, very easy for everyone to learn. And like Mr. Vincent, like Mr. Martins said, Mr. Martins has dwelled more on the fact that for courses that are not so hands-on, like medical sciences, like probably engineering. Some people even learn engineering virtually, right? You could you can teach robotics to students that are not physically with you. You just want to ask them to buy the tools. But then the courses that cannot be taken virtually, they are just very, very limited. I know there are a lot of top-up nursing courses, like for nursing graduates that have gone to School of Nursing. There are a lot of universities that they do 1 year BSc top-up nursing courses. They do not do, it is not physical, it is virtual. because they understand that these people have already had practical classes, then they just want to like do the theoretical aspect. So it's something that it's the way to go, especially in this 21st century. So let's look at how can we enhance virtual learning. There are different ways that we could enhance virtual learning. One of it is by ensuring there is a real-time interaction between the learners and the teachers. So one of the reasons is because from experience, you know, even as adults, when you register to take courses on Udemy, on Coursera, you need a high level of grit, determination, time management skills to finish up that course. So a lot of people, they have a lot of unfinished courses. You know, there's a course, oh, there's another discount, just quickly buy that course. You take it the first 2 days and that's all. So not to talk of young children that are still within the primary and secondary school age. We need to help them to be serious. So one of this is by ensuring that there is a synchronous learning, like the students and the teachers are having real-time conversation, like live classes. So we do not want to do a lot of recorded class because they might just keep it aside and they won't go back to it. So then we can also incorporate self-paced learning, right? So I know this is like contradicting themselves, but remember I mentioned that the first thing is that we must have real-time interaction with the students. So we can also have self-paced learning, whereby, okay, you had your classes, but somebody is unable to join because she was sick. The other person was unable to join probably because of time differences. You are in Nigeria and they are in Canada, you know, they are unable to join. It's daytime for you. They are sleeping. So you can also have a way that you are saving these lessons. So, and then a lot of the edtech tools like Google Classroom, we majorly use Google Classroom. So I'm sorry, I might be mentioning more of Google Classroom. So Google Classroom has a way it stores the lessons. So the student can always go back to it and they learn at their own time. Then we also have blended learning. So in a situation whereby it's possible for these children to come around. So let's say, for instance, you are in Lagos or you are in Nigeria. Once in a while, you could have a physical meetup with your students. So like, oh, let's come and let's meet ourselves. So, you know, combining this in-person instruction with online presence. So it's going to give them an hybrid learning experience. So in today's world now, we have a lot of companies, a lot of tech companies that are incorporating hybrid system. They just want to like see their staff once in a while. Then sometimes some of them would have these hybrid experiences done like end of the year. They kind of meet up. Oh, let's meet all our remote workers. You know, there is a feeling that it gives you when you are seeing the people that you work together. So yes. So then we also want to like encourage the students to go on platforms like the Coursera, FutureLearn, Udemy to learn, because there are a lot of things that you can learn from the comfort of your home and at very affordable prices, because you might have access to courses of professors in Harvard University, and you can take these courses free on Coursera. You can take these courses at little to no cost on Udemy. And these are professors in Harvard University, professors in MIT, just by your computer. So there are a lot of things that you can learn by making use of virtual learning. So we want to encourage our parents, we want to encourage the government, we want to encourage the school and other stakeholders to make it easy for students to have access to online resources, have access to online lessons, have access to people that can also motivate them that might not be within the four walls of their classroom or their community. So, yes, I think in summary, virtual learning and use of educational technology tools would help to overcome geographical barriers. It would help to personalize learning experiences, and it is also going to cater to different learning styles of different individuals. And I want to believe that this is going to like offer lifelong learning opportunities to students, helps in skill development, and it also like helps to address the shortage in the education gap that we have, especially in Africa. Thank you.
That was a good one. Thank you so much, Amina. Thank you so much. So we're also entertaining questions or contributions from the audience. If you have any question, please drop it in the chat, or you can unmute and ask your question or contribute. So because this is an interactive session, I will be talking or asking few questions around the challenges that might or might hinder the virtual learning. So it's a question, so I also need answers to it. So this is to Aminat. How do we or how do people, especially those in Nigeria, self-motivate themselves and also inculcate good management skills to stay on track with virtual learning assignments, coursework, and the rest of the things that are involved in virtual learning?
Okay, thank you. So I'm going to take this. I'll be looking at it from two perspectives. Okay, so I'll be looking at it from perspective of the 5 to 18-year-old, and I'll also be looking at it from perspective of the adults, 18 and above. So like I've said, for young children, we adults, we need to like help them. So we want to like help them. You could, if you have a child that is learning online, you want to make sure that, oh, it's time for your coding class. You need to go and join your coding class now. You want to help them. By the time that child starts to get to like a 12, 13, the child is already getting independent that, oh, I need to take my learning seriously. Now we have some online schools. Like I know we have an online school. Most of the students in that online school, they are in Saudi Arabia. They are mostly Nigerians that are working as doctors, nurses in Saudi Arabia. Now, Saudi Arabia is a country in the Middle East. They speak Arabic. So a lot of these parents, they have this, I don't say they don't have English speaking schools, but they have more of Arabic speaking schools, and they have migrated from Nigeria. So, they want their children to continue to learn in English. So the learning is so serious because these children, when they wake up in the morning, more like homeschooling, they know that, okay, we are going for class. Their parents have helped them, their online teachers to have given them that discipline that you have to log in every Mondays to Fridays from 10 a.m. Nigerian time, which is 8 a.m. their time, to 2 p.m. Nigerian time, which is 12 p.m. their time. So these students know that they are logging in, they have timetable that they are logging into. Now, for students that are taking the online classes for like extracurricular classes, their parents also monitors them. Then we have some children that, because of they have been disciplined, they've been sensitized on the importance of taking these things serious. They already know that, oh, this thing is going to help in your future. They get used to it after a point in time that, oh, my class is every Saturday, 10 p.m. They log into the class. Then another thing is you can also have a system of reminder. You could want to have like a Zoom, a Google Calendar that reminds them every 5 minutes, every 30 minutes. So it pops up on their phone, or if they have things like Alexa, it reminds them, oh, your class is in 30 minutes. So the child knows that, oh, I need to take my class in 30 minutes. So these are for young children. But now if it's for we that we are adults, you are in this economy where you know that, okay, people are looking at, oh, there is tech, there is money in tech. You want to learn tech, and you know your current situation. Oh, at the moment you are earning 30,000 per month. You are earning 40,000 per month. You are going out every day. You are leaving your house 6 o'clock to resume 8 o'clock somewhere. And somebody is telling you that if you can learn this thing for 6 months, 1 year, do you want to learn data analysis? Do you want to learn cloud computing? Do you want to learn web development? If you can become an expert, it's possible for you to get remote job opportunities. I think we should first of all give ourselves this motivation that what do I stand to gain? So when you know what you stand to gain, you are looking at that end goal. It's going to help you to know that even though you get home, even though you are a 9 to 5, you do 9 to 5 and you get home 9 o'clock in the night. This motivation of I need something better for my life. I need to get a better career. I need better pay. I want to believe it should motivate you to stay up at night to study. So when you buy that Udemy course, this is also something I'm also talking to myself. When you buy that Udemy course, make sure that you finish up with it because you are looking at the end goal. So I think for adults, when you know that, oh, this is what I stand to gain in terms of job prospects, in terms of more economic opportunities for yourself, for your family, it will give you you will be able to take this online learning seriously. So I hope that answers the question.
Yes, yes, it does. Thank you so much for that. Please,
You're
does
welcome.
anyone have any other question you would like to raise, any contribution? But I also have another question, and my question is this. Not everyone has similar or equal learning process. These are people I'm referring to are people with disabilities such as deafness, dumbness, and the rest that requires physical learning to actually cope. How do we enhance virtual learning in this scenario for special children? Yeah.
Okay. When we look at special needs, there are a variety of special needs. We have some kids that might be a bit mild, maybe speech, they need more speech therapy, they don't, or like, and it could be, I don't know, it could be also be challenging for if you are looking at children that are autistic or children that are blind or deaf. So these children might require more parental involvement. Yes. So they might require more parental involvement. And then they also need like individualized plan. They might not be able to cope in the regular online class. Then like I mentioned, their parent needs to, it could be that if you have a child that has ADHD, attention deficit problem, so the child is unable to concentrate. So a child that cannot concentrate, is it that child that you want to sit in front of a computer? So you as the parents might want to stay by the child, sit with her when they are learning. So that way the parent is also understands it, so that after the class, the parent can also put the child through that, oh, this was what your teacher asked you to use. Then we also have some assistive technology tools now that can help students that are having special needs. We have screen readers, we have text-to-speech softwares. Like I know there is someone that learns programming and is a blind person. Yes, I think I saw it somewhere on YouTube or something. A blind guy that learns programming. So it might be difficult to be sincere, but with determination and support, like the person they will really need support. Let me just say they will really need support. So if they have that support, support from other people, it is achievable. So, for a child, for someone that is deaf, they can use captioning. A lot of these, even YouTube videos, you can click on caption. They can read through the caption. They can give them alternative text for images. If there are people that cannot process things easily, for children that need something that is very, very practical. Instead, you might want to make their lesson filled with images. So instead of just writings, you want to like give them real pictures so that they can understand it very well. So, and obviously for special needs students, their learning has to be flexible. You don't want to like give them the same time frame that you're giving to kids without special needs. Okay, so if the kids without special needs are learning for 3 months and taking a test, you might want to like consider that, oh, this girl is special needs. You want to give her more time. You want to give her a break. You want to like understand that these people might need flexible learning pattern. Yeah. So
Oh, thank you so much for that. I think that has given me more glimpse into that. Thank you so much. So, Mr.
yeah.
Martins, there's one more question for you. And some subjects, particularly those requiring hands-on training or laboratory work, are a lot harder to teach virtually. How do we enhance virtual learning in this scenario?
Yeah, thanks a lot. Yeah, it's true. We may discuss virtual learning here, but in practice, it's very tasking. Like this question you are asking, some subjects require, hands-on. But there's always solution for that. We just signed a contract with an organization in the US. In fact, it's a university, University of Colorado, and what we are doing with them in terms of STEM is STEM simulations, right? Using simulations to teach, courses that are should be more of practicals, right? So simulations can do a whole lot. We were having a conversation with what do you call them again? National Industrial Training, industrial training. This agency for industrial training fund, ITF, right? And they were talking about how do we get content, for skills that are practical driven, and simulations answer that question. So we ought to, a tutor or a lecturer or a facilitator or an instructor can do all of those, prevent a simulation that will describe and show how to do this. And most times we're now using gamification, where you could use blocks and show how this works depending on the topics that you're treating.
Oh, thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so one more question. Someone asked in the chat, and I think that question goes to Jose, because she talked about asynchronous and synchronous balance, or yeah, learning settings. So someone is asking, what are your thoughts on the balance between synchronous real-time and asynchronous self-paced learning in the virtual setting?
Okay. So like I mentioned, I want to believe that for young children and even adults, this is still like the best option to me. Let there be time that there is real-time interaction, but there could be life challenges, there could be unforeseen circumstances that now this program is being streamed live, because some people, they wish to join today, but they could not. They might have planned that they were going to join the live session, but they could not. So it's not nice that because they were unable to join, they could not have access to what we have discussed. So that's why we are having the recorded class, this live session that is being recorded. So this person can always have it in mind that, oh, I'll come back to listen or watch that video later at my leisure time. So the person has not really missed out on what we have learned. So I think the balance is making use of edtech tools that incorporates real-time learning, and also as a way of storage, like a cloud kind of storage of past classes that students can always go back to and learn on their own. So I hope that's gotten.
Yeah, I'm sure the person who asked the question must have gotten it. Okay, so the person is also asking again, can you share personal success stories or tip for effectively managing your time and resources in a virtual learning environment? So I think that question is for both Ajose and Martins.
Okay, so I mentioned that as a company, we run STEM programs in schools. So and we also work with online schools. Now, like I mentioned, we work with an online school that their students are mostly in Saudi. They are Nigerians, they are Yorubas, they are Igbos, but they are mostly there. So they make use of Google Classroom. All of the instructors, there is a timetable because these students, all of their lesson from EYFS, that's from early years foundation stage, the 3-year-old, till SS1, they do all of their lessons, chemistry, ICT, math, social studies. They have timetable. So the students they have been encouraged, and a lot of these children, they have one of either of their parents that is at home with them, or a nanny or a guardian. So they have their computer, they have internet facilities, they are logging in, they are period like bi-weekly tests. They take their test using Google Forms. So the process is just like they're in a normal school. The only thing is they are all logging in. There is you are taking attendance. Oh, it's time for math. These people, these and these, they are not in class. You want to call their parents, probably on WhatsApp. Ma, your daughter has not logged in. Why is she not logged in yet? If the mom is not around, she wants to call the person that is at home. Why is she not logged in yet? Then she logs in. So yes, so it's something that it is working, and it's been achievable because the school has been on for a while, and they are learning what they should learn with the curriculum that has been used. So they give them assignments, we mark tests, they set exam questions, they do all of this. Then the challenges that you could face, obviously, is internet connectivity, the major thing. So, but a lot of these people, these more developed countries, their internet connectivity is quite good. So even for we here in Nigeria, so our internet connectivity is not that bad. Like I don't know, except you're living in a remote area, we are all online now and we are communicating fine. So if MTN is down, you want to have an alternative. So if you are working as an online teacher, or you are someone that you do a lot of virtual meetings, you do not want to limit yourself to just one service provider. So you want to have a 9 mobile, you want to have SpectraNet. So if one is acting up, you quickly switch on the other. So I think those are the challenges. And obviously for young children that are still in the school age, they might feel bored. They're sitting, they are not talking to their friends. They don't have anybody that they are, when you're in a normal school, you guys will go on break, you are playing with people. This one, they are going on break. They just want to go and eat in their house with their sibling. So that would be their parents to ensure that they take them out. They take them out to malls, to like, if this for children that are really learning virtually. But if it is as an adult that you're learning online, I think the only thing that could be your challenge, like for some of my friends, is fun to buy data. They complain they don't have money to buy data, or you ask someone to watch a video and they're telling you that thing they want to download. So if you're trying out some software and you want to download something and it is 5 gig and you don't have the money. So those are like some things that might become like, oh, there's no money to buy data, but then find a way to get the money to buy the data, because you are working towards a better goal and you end up recovering all of your losses. So I think these are just the major challenges.
Oh, wow. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so Mr. Martin, same question.
Okay,
Um,
okay, okay.
yeah,
Thank you. I just hitting it on the head. Awesome. Thank you very much, Aminat, for that very wonderful expository, responses.
You're welcome.
The person asked about personal experience. Actually, I did a program with when the federal government was doing the UWIN program. The last batch, our previous president, we were part of that. That should be 2018, January to April, thereabout. And it was virtual because, again, when I started in the opening, I said we are plagued with population. We are plagued with, the number of students. If you ask yourself how many students you have in public and primary schools in Lagos alone, and then ask yourself how many facilities we have. This is just when you are looking at the urban. When you go to rural, you will be shocked. And then now, vis-a-vis, check the number of teachers we have and facilitators against this number. You see, if you do the ratio, you will be wowed. You understand? And that's why in the modern society, we can't do, without the virtual learning. So I had that experience and it was awesome because the platform was simple. And that's why when building edtech platforms for virtual learning, we must build and know that we don't assume that everyone is tech savvy. We must build and as simple as possible. I did a program in South Africa while in Nigeria here, and the platform they were using was so complex. I'm talking about challenge now, with respect to the question the person asked. The challenge I had using virtual learning, the platform used was so confusing, and this program required me to do assignment, respond to the assignment, submit the assignment, and they were all of these were time bound, and there were time slots to do this, to achieve this, just to ensure that everyone is engaged and is on track. But the platform itself was very, very, very confusing. The links were just, rigmaroling and all of that. So when building, we must know that, some people might be coming from rural areas, some people may not even be in town and don't know how to use this thing. So the platform should be simple and easy, and find it a thin line, knowing that students learn at different paces. There are students you are teaching and say, sir, they answer the question and they are correct. And there are some that will take their time to digest, to assimilate, to understand before they will be able to understand and complement. All right. So as a good teacher, what do you do? Do you abandon those ones as you are teaching live? So you would do, just like I just said, have, a cloud storage for this where people can always go refer, infer, and then learn at their pace again, to ensure that they are, that they are catching up. Internet is a major challenge, but I think we are getting there. We are improving on these facilities. The instructors themselves, the experience of the instructor to get engaged with the student, with the learner matters a lot. So if you are very intelligent but don't knowing how to teach, you would just be, just moving without really knowing whether or not your audience, your students are catching up, especially for the early age, early years, and the K-12, whether or not they are meeting up as you are teaching, they are grasping, because it's a live class and you are time bound. That is why the question came in, how to, have that balance such that people can actually go back and then refer to what was learned again. In our platform, we have a transcript that after you finish, this can actually be transcript. You can download the transcript in any language that you want, and then you can look at it because we support a few language at the moment. You can download that and then you go back just to ensure that, and then that meetup is very important, like I just was saying, where we once in a while, if you are doing hybrid, these people are meeting, and then more questions that couldn't be answered or asked, during the virtual session, can be addressed.
Wow, that's really a good one. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much, Ajose. Thank you so much, Martins. I really enjoyed the session. Okay, so for if there are any final words you can say, but before then, to Martins and Ajose, do you or do we see a future for virtual learning in Nigeria in the next 5 years from now? Being that the penetration of technological tools that will enhance this learning haven't really got into remote places like the villages and places like that. So do we see that virtual learning will be fully enhanced in Nigeria in the next 5 years?
Yes, if you ask me, I'll say yes. The government is already having this at the back, not at the back, but in front of their mind now. They are very interested in virtual learning. You could see UNICEF has something they call Nigeria Learning Passport. Let's not go far now. Nigeria Learning Passport, if you just go to NLP dot, education, you see Nigeria Learning Passport. You see these are curated courses, curated, contents, done by local Nigerian teachers, on diverse topics, and it's free, where, people, and the goal is to take learning to, the interior villages and remote areas, where if you are a secondary school student in my village, you might not have a physics teacher, or you might not even have a chemistry teacher. You see one teacher is teaching all the subject, because they have teacher shortages there. So this Nigerian Learning Passport is aimed, to augment what the good work the teachers are doing, with even more better content. So the government have that at the back of their mind. And if you see, early last year, late last year or thereabout, Lagos State government signed, a deal with Learn Africa to be able to provide digital learning content for public students in Lagos State to be able to access. So the government, have that. And then for the student, for the learner, you will find that the learner, an average young child, young mind is curious. An average young mind wants to learn, and then when you take them digitally, they are very interested. They are fascinated. They want to learn more. They are eager to use the system. They are eager to use, these tech platforms, or anything, any digital service that can help them improve their learning goals. The challenge they have is the opportunity to even use that. How many homes, how many parents have a PC at home or have internet at home, to encourage, that virtual learning, right? So that child is interested, but has not been taught, has not had the opportunity. So I see a situation where in the future, the government will continue to provide the facility that will drive the enablement, that will drive the ability of the student, the learner, to be able to learn virtually. That would be my closing remark. Thank you.
Wow, thank you so much. This is really full packed. Thank you so much. All right, I just said, what are your thoughts to this? Do you see virtual learning enhanced in Nigeria, fully in Nigeria in the next 5 years?
Yeah, so I think I see that it will be fully enhanced. And with our new minister, we have some very smart people that have just been added to the cabinet, and I want to believe that they're going to do their best to make sure that this thing also cut across all the even the low class and the low communities. So I want to believe that it will be fully embedded in our Nigerian system by in 5 years' time.
Oh, thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. All right, so any last words from our speakers before we call it a day? Okay, I guess there's none. All right, guys, I'm so happy for this session. I'm actually excited that I participated, and I'm sure every other person here shares the same thoughts with me. So, thank you so much for joining. This is Bincom Dev Center, and community event is one of the packages or services we offer. So if you're looking to join more of our EdTech series, you can simply check our website. I will drop it here in the chat. You can simply check our website, and you can, show interest in any of our community events. Apart from the EdTech series, we also have other events like tech meetups, such as PHP meetup, graphics meetup, UI UX meetup, etc. Then we also have our ICT career talk coming up tomorrow by 12 p.m. So if you're looking to start a tech career or you're trying to navigate through the ever-evolving world of tech, the digital world, you should look forward to our ICT career talk. Thank you so much for joining. I am so happy that we're able to make it here. Do have a lovely day. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a nice day. Bye. Thanks. Bye. Okay.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah.